Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs' star quarterback, has reportedly received news that has sent shockwaves through the NFL. Details are still emerging, but early reports suggest the development could impact both his performance and the team's immediate plans. Mahomes, known for his resilience and leadership, now faces an unexpected challenge at a pivotal moment in the season. Analysts note that the timing amplifies the significance, coinciding with critical matchups and playoff positioning. The announcement immediately dominated headlines, with media outlets dissecting potential consequences. Fans reacted with a mix of concern and speculation, questioning the broader implications. Within the organization, internal discussions likely shifted toward contingency planning. This sudden news underscores the fragility and unpredictability of professional sports, reminding observers that even elite players are not immune to unforeseen disruptions. The NFL community reacted swiftly to Mahomes' news, with analysts, coaches, and players weighing in on potential ramifications. Competitors immediately recalculated strategies, recognizing the possible impact on upcoming games and postseason projections. Media coverage highlighted uncertainty, focusing on roster adjustments, quarterback depth charts, and contingency plans. Pundits emphasized the potential psychological effect on the team, noting that leadership presence can directly influence performance under pressure. Comparisons to previous sudden developments involving star quarterbacks illustrate the importance of organizational adaptability. Sports networks dissected scenarios, exploring outcomes ranging from temporary adjustments to long-term strategic shifts. Coaches may need to modify game plans, emphasizing risk management and depth utilization. The rapid response highlights how critical Mahomes is to Kansas City's structure and the ripple effects a single piece of news can have across the league. Within the Chiefs organization, Mahomes' situation immediately affected team dynamics. Locker room discussions, leadership responsibilities, and player morale became focal points. Veteran players likely assumed a supportive role, reinforcing resilience and focus among teammates. Coaches had to balance strategic planning with emotional guidance, ensuring the team remains cohesive despite uncertainty. Analysts note that star players' challenges often ripple across positional groups, influencing performance, motivation, and communication. Maintaining stability while adapting to the situation is critical for both short-term success and long-term cohesion. The organizational culture, centered on accountability and leadership, will be tested. Decisions regarding practice routines, rotations, and in-game adjustments are influenced by Mahomes' availability and capacity to contribute. The scenario underscores how a single player's circumstances can reshape the internal ecosystem, requiring immediate attention to preserve effectiveness and morale. Mahomes' unexpected news may necessitate roster adjustments, with backup quarterbacks and supporting positions under scrutiny. Coaches and management must assess depth, readiness, and flexibility across the roster. Analysts emphasize that contingency plans often involve shifting offensive schemes, modifying play calling, and reevaluating player roles. Injuries, performance inconsistencies, and situational awareness become critical considerations. Kansas City's personnel decisions will likely balance short-term competitiveness with long-term strategy, aiming to protect Mahomes while sustaining team effectiveness. Historical examples indicate that successful franchises adapt quickly, integrating backups seamlessly to preserve performance standards. Decisions regarding practice intensity, rotations, and positional responsibilities are influenced by Mahomes' status. The organization's ability to adjust without compromising cohesion will determine the team's resilience. Strategic alignment, communication, and preparedness are paramount in mitigating the disruptive effects of sudden developments involving a star player. The Chiefs' coaching staff faces immediate pressure to adapt strategy in response to Mahomes' news. Offensive coordinators must consider adjustments to play calling, tempo, and risk management. Defensive alignment and special team strategy may also require modification, anticipating potential changes in game flow. Analysts note that leadership at the coaching level is crucial during sudden developments, balancing tactical adjustments with player confidence. Historical precedent shows that proactive planning preserves competitive edge while minimizing disruption. Game preparation involves reviewing opponent tendencies, adjusting situational schemes, and ensuring backup players are ready to execute effectively. Communication channels between coaching staff, players, and management must be heightened. The scenario emphasizes how leadership, flexibility, and rapid decision-making are central to maintaining performance under unforeseen circumstances. Coaching strategy now intertwines directly with personnel management, organizational culture, and postseason aspirations. Mahomes' news introduces psychological variables that could affect individual and team performance. Stress, uncertainty, and pressure can influence decision-making, reaction time, and execution under high-stakes conditions. Sports psychologists often advise teams to maintain routines, reinforce focus, and cultivate resilience. Leadership within the locker room becomes critical as teammates balance empathy with competitive drive. Analysts highlight that elite players can either elevate team morale or absorb tension depending on communication and support systems. Training staff may monitor physical and mental readiness, tailoring recovery and preparation protocols. Historical cases demonstrate that organizations maintaining clarity, structure, and emotional stability perform better under unexpected disruptions. Kansas City's ability to integrate these psychological considerations into daily operations will determine short-term effectiveness. The scenario underscores the intersection of mental resilience, leadership, and performance sustainability in professional sports. Fans reacted immediately to Mahomes' news, expressing shock, concern, and speculation across social media platforms. Forums, news outlets, and sports networks rapidly dissected implications for upcoming games and playoff prospects. Memes, opinion pieces, and analysis highlighted the emotional investment of supporters and the heightened stakes for the franchise. Media coverage focused on potential roster changes, coaching strategies, and league-wide impact. Fan sentiment can influence broader narratives, ticket sales, and brand perception. Analysts observe that sustained engagement requires transparency, consistency, and clear communication from the organization. The intense reaction illustrates the cultural significance of star players and the interplay between media, public perception, and organizational decision-making. Kansas City's handling of communication and messaging will shape narratives and manage expectations during this critical period. Mahomes' situation extends beyond Kansas City, affecting league dynamics. Divisional rivals, playoff contenders, and analysts recalculated strategies considering potential disruptions. Betting markets, media projections, and game preparations reflect immediate adaptation to the news. Competitors may adjust scouting, defensive schemes, and personnel plans to exploit perceived vulnerabilities. The scenario highlights the interconnectedness of league operations, where a single player's status can influence multiple franchises. Analysts emphasize that preparedness, depth, and flexibility define competitive advantage under such conditions. The ripple effect underscores the broader operational and strategic impact of unforeseen developments, illustrating the systemic sensitivity of professional sports leagues to star player availability. Mahomes' circumstances now shape narratives, strategic considerations, and organizational planning across the NFL. Sports analysts provide nuanced predictions regarding Mahomes' news. Evaluation includes potential game outcomes, offensive efficiency, and playoff readiness. Experts assess the quarterback's health, performance capacity, and the effectiveness of contingency strategies. Simulations of upcoming matchups consider backup readiness, defensive schemes, and situational adjustments. Analysts note that successful franchises leverage experience, coaching acumen, and depth to mitigate sudden disruptions. Historical precedent emphasizes that organizations prioritizing adaptability, communication, and culture sustain competitive performance despite unexpected setbacks. Predictions suggest Kansas City will implement strategic rotations, adjust tempo, and emphasize risk management. Expert consensus highlights the interplay of leadership, preparation, and organizational resilience as critical determinants of performance under uncertainty. Mahomes' situation now serves as a case study in balancing elite talent with operational contingencies. Patrick Mahomes' devastating news marks a pivotal moment for the Kansas City Chiefs. Its influence spans team morale, strategy, and organizational planning, highlighting the fragility and complexity of professional sports. Leadership decisions, roster adjustments, and coaching strategy will determine short-term performance and postseason prospects. Analysts and fans anticipate adaptations in offensive schemes, contingency planning, and psychological support systems. The scenario underscores the importance of depth, resilience, and effective communication. Mahomes' status will shape narratives, influence league-wide dynamics, and test organizational agility. Moving forward, the Chiefs' response will define both immediate competitiveness and long-term strategic positioning. This situation exemplifies how unforeseen developments involving star players create multi-dimensional challenges requiring coordination, adaptability, and leadership across every level of a professional sports organization.